10 years ago, we started with a dream and a concept that based on this called poverty is not just a lack of money. Poverty is something where a human being cannot realize his complete potential as a human being because there is no capability. With this, we started with an experiment where we said, can we take somebody who is completely illiterate, who has never touched a pencil in his life, and in 6 months' time, can we take him or her and make him capable and allow him to live his head held high? So when I first met somebody like this, he was like this. Can I have the volume as well, please? You cannot hear much because he was not speaking much. Right? So I tried to talk to him and get him to speak a few words and all that. Found it very difficult. The interview process itself was tough because he would not be able to write or say anything at all. So we asked him to bring some books and all that, and that's how he was selected. Meet Meghraj, the same illiterate person.
इस संस्था से सीखे हुए कुछ स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर हमारे पास हैं और मैं चाहूँगा कि हमारे साथी और हमारे दोस्त यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं उनसे कुछ मैं चाहूँगा बातचीत करें उनसे मिस्टर मेघराज मंत्री और जोरदार तालियों पर मिस्टर मेघराज मंत्री और मैं चाहूँगा मेघराज जी आप हमारी जनता को बताएं कि आप पहले क्या करते थे और आपकी राजेश जी के साथ मुलाकात कैसे हुई?
Before joining LLI, I was a grazing buffalo in the village and working in a farm and not knowing anything.
आश्चर्य की बात है भैंस चराया करते थे और इनको सिवाय सूर्योदय और सूर्यास्त के अलावा और कुछ आता नहीं ये अपने आप में एक अजूबा है
I'd like Meghraj to speak a few words. So Meghraj is with us.
Good morning, everybody. I am Meghraj Mantri. I came from remote village Gule, which is in Koppal district, Karnataka. I am working in Head Foundation as a center head in Tumkur, looking after a center and managing a center and reporting to center manager. I do get chance to train the student, and with this Head skills, I have first 10th and second PUC. Now I am looking forward to graduate. And my dream is to provide education to in rural villages to make their life with respect and dignity. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity.
Thank you, Meghraj. So I had to tell him strictly that Ganesh is behind you, you have to stick to 30 seconds. Otherwise he would go on and on. Mr. Bachchan could not stop him. He went on for some 15-20 minutes. Ganesh, this is great. So what is our dream? Our dream was, can we enable the transformation of someone who's really poor and mostly who has not been to school as well, and make him or her capable by transforming their capability. And how do we enable this dream to happen? How do we make this happen? First, our focus is on people and the region where most people don't reach. Last 10 years we have spent in places like Bidar and remote places like Chhattisgarh, places where most people don't even go. And focus on people who are mostly illiterate, right? That's a focus. The second one, we have built a program which we call the Magic Box, which transforms these people to become capable. We call it the Magic Box. The third one, which we are now building, is to have volunteers come and train as trainers through an academy that we have, where they will be trained to train. The fourth, as our intention is to give this entire methodology away. We don't want to hold it back. This is for all of us to take it and scale and make an impact. The fifth one, as we build this, as our partners do this, as everybody does it, we're building a governance model where we learn and tweak and make sure that this works at scale as well. And as we do this, the end outcome we're looking at, how do we do this? And the outcome is, many of you spoke about it, to provide formal sector jobs where possible through our corporate networks and people that we have. Also support them in finding local jobs, or through our partners, help them become entrepreneurs. So I really look forward to meeting many of you who are presenting in entrepreneurship and all that as well here. What is the proof that it works? This is the status right now. We have trained about 3,500 people so far in the last 10 years. We've been living in those villages mostly. Many of these states, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Orissa, we worked in many of these states. And currently we are looking at these states. We got a funding of Tata Trust of 10 crores. And we have 15 plus partners across the country right now we are working with. How do we plan to scale this? Now we've seen the 5 elements that are a part of our model. Along with this, we have a very engaged and an eminent group of board of trustees who work with us. In fact, this presentation was built with the constant support and work with the trustees. Eminent board of trustees, I'll share with you in a minute. An excellent team and an effective governance framework that I talked about. So somebody like Anand Sudarshan was an ex-CEO of Manipal, Ash Mani, and you also have Madan Padaki and Sunil Savara here in the audience. And we call it the leadership team, corporate, some people who bring 20 plus years of experience with a heart. So at scale, what impact? What do we plan to do? What is our goal? Our plan is to impact 100,000 people by 2022 and about 1 million people by 2025. Now what's required for us to scale? We intend to build global credibility for the model, the capability transformation model, to attract large funds and also influence government policy. London Business School and London School of Economics are conducting a 3-year research measuring economic impact. We are looking for a large partner who can do this project with us. We are also looking at partners who can implement this program across the country. Like I mentioned, we are looking at giving this program away. And we need partners who can take this program and implement it across the country. We already have 15 plus of partners, and we need more. And in the states that I mentioned in the previous slides. We're also looking for additional funds of about 49 crores. We have done the math, and the 49 crores needs to be raised for us to reach 100,000 people impact by 2022. And many of us in this room are already supporting us as advisors and all that. I really appreciate all of your support, and I look forward to interacting with you, working with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rajesh. I think that was a very clear presentation. So, questions, comments? Yes, please.
So how much does a center cost? What's the impact of the center? How many people you are training?
One center, we train 30 people at a time. That's one batch.
Duration?
Duration is about between 6 months to 12 months.
How many people do you require?
Sorry? we require 2 people in a center.
If you could break down the size of the center, 2 people, and the cost, we can work on something. Have you heard of Agram? Have you heard of an organization called Agram Foundation in Chennai?
Yes, yes, I have.
I would work
Yes,
with
yes. Thank you.
and them on that, yeah.
Thank you, Akib. Thank you, Akib.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I just want to check, what is the current budget that you have and in how much time do you want to raise the 49 crores?
The question was what is the current budget that they have and what is the time in which they want to raise the 49 crores?
So this year, coming financial year, we have a budget of 4.3 crores, and that's already raised. We have 1.5 years to raise the next financial year, and we have about 2 years to raise the next.
Yes, Will?
Yes, sir.
Of the 3,500 you've trained, have you tracked how many have been able to establish and improve livelihood as a result of the training?
So we did a survey of about 100 people just a few months ago. We found about 50% of them gainfully employed at the end of that 1 year. About 30% of them were doing something which was related to what they were trained. 10% of them were continuing education. 10% of them were not successful.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I have one more question. What kind of industries are we talking about, these jobs in?
So it depends on the region, but it's mostly the services industry. Based on the region, also the preferences of the people. Some people want to migrate, some people don't. So based on the region,
No, but what would be the kind, example?
see, education, NGOs. Some of them want to go into BPOs, retail sector, healthcare sector, and so on.
Thank you. I have a question for Meghraj. After meeting Amitabh Bachchan, आपको Bollywood में नहीं जाना है? No? You don't want to become a film star?
No, I don't want to become a film star. I want to become who are in my village, who are very literate people, to make them to educate, to show the world how it looks.
Thank you.
That is I need.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Meghraj.
So I'll leave you with this poem, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Can we have the slide back, please? The last slide. Most of us have heard this poem when we were children, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. And into the heaven of freedom, my father left my country away. Thank you very much.